Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Poland will not open the border for grain products from Ukraine on the 15th of September. We only allow transit. The consequences of this war must not negatively affect Polish agricultural sector, Mateusz Morawiecki stressed. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Robert Telus announced the signing of a joint position on extending the ban on the import of 4 cereals to frontline countries, Poland, Bulgaria, Hungary and Slovakia and Romania beyond the 15th of September until the end of the year.
If there are further signs of destabilization in other agricultural commodity markets, we will do the same, because the government of the Republic of Poland is obliged to protect Polish agriculture, and as we did in March, April and May, blockade and compensation, financial support of an unprecedented amount. We have prepared and signed together our position with the 5 countries regarding, first of all, the extension of the ban on the transportation of these 4 grains into our countries. But also in our position is that we are very much open to transit. We want to help Ukraine with transit. We know that this war is a war that we have to win, but we will win it if we introduce solutions that will help us do that.
Polish firefighters set off on another mission to Greece. Groups from Greater Poland, Lesser Poland and Podlassia provinces will support Greek firefighters in fighting the fires that have been raging south and west of Athens for several days. The firefighting operation is not made any easier by the more than 40-degree heat, which is expected to persist in the coming days. That's why the Greeks need the support of Polish firefighters.
This is our 18th international mission, of which there are now 7 rescue missions, because there were also humanitarian operations. One by one, it was Greece, Turkey using helicopters together with the police, the Czech Republic using a helicopter, France last year, and now we are going to Greece again. Today in Kraków at 2 p.m., 149 firefighters and 49 rescue vehicles headed to Greece near Athens, Attica region. This is the 2nd time. 2 years ago, we also operated in a similar area, providing assistance to Greeks in the raging fires in the south of Greece.
On Tuesday night, Russia launched its 2nd consecutive attack on Odesa and the Odesa region. Missiles hit a grain and oil terminal. The attacks coincided with Russia's withdrawal from the Black Sea grain deal. Today, President Volodymyr Zelensky appealed for the resumption of Ukrainian grain shipments. Speaking to African journalists, President Zelensky called on the United Nations and Turkey to take the steps necessary to continue the grain export agreement. We want our partners, the United Nations and Turkey, not to be afraid of doing everything possible so that even without the Russian Federation, we can use the Black Sea corridor. We are not afraid. Shipping companies approached us and said that they are ready to continue delivering grain if Ukraine lets the ships leave the ports and Turkey lets them go through the Bosphorus Strait. Zelensky was speaking during a joint press conference with Ireland's Prime Minister Leo Varadkar during his visit to Kiev.
Perhaps Russia believes that it can break the resolve of the Ukrainian people. But I know from the way you've fought for the past few years and from my visit here that it cannot. My visit to the sites of these atrocities this morning and my meeting here in Kiev has confirmed to me that Russia will not succeed, and Russia cannot be allowed to succeed.
Meanwhile, Russia launched an extensive air attack on the Ukrainian city of Odesa earlier today for the 2nd night in a row, an assault dubbed by the authorities as a hellish onslaught, meant to destroy the possibility of shipping Ukrainian grain from its ports. The military said the strike hit a grain and oil terminal and damaged tanks and equipment for loading. The attack started a fire at the port and at a commercial warehouse on the outskirts of Odesa. Local emergency services published footage showing damage at a warehouse on the 7th-kilometre commercial market on Odesa's outskirts. Reuters was able to confirm the location is Odesa from the position of the buildings and grass and the colour of the roofs seen in the video, which matched satellite imagery of the area. Ukraine's infrastructure ministry published still images showing a grain loader and a silo on fire. Ukraine's Southern Military Command said Russia struck Odesa's port infrastructure. Many high-rise residential buildings in Odesa were also damaged in the attack, and with many shattered windows, residents were sweeping away glass shards in the backyards. Luckily, I was not sleeping. I live on the 1st floor. I saw a red flash in the window and reacted immediately. The moment I fell on the floor behind the bed, all the windows were blown out. I went downstairs. It was noisy and filled with smoke outside. People were in a panic. Some were crying. Glass shards were scattered all over. It was impossible to remain in the area. There were people in the basement, but it was smoky there. In the nearby residential building, there was at least some fresh air. Then people calmed down. I went back home to cook pancakes. I walked over glass shards in my apartment. I turned on the music. There's no reason to cry. Life goes on. The bed is right by the window. When I walked into the bedroom to see what had happened, I saw glass shards over the pillars and mattresses. There were cuts. The attacks on Odesa, one of Ukraine's main ports for exporting grain, followed a pledge of retaliation by Russia after a blast on the bridge linking Russia to the Crimean Peninsula on Monday that Moscow blamed on Ukraine. There was no immediate comment from Russia. Former United States President Donald Trump has been officially informed that he is under investigation for the events surrounding the storming of the Capitol on the 6th of January 2021. Trump is scheduled to appear before a grand jury within 4 days. The former president has hinted that he will face further criminal charges. It can be said that a certain part of the Democratic camp is relentless in these activities related to trying to eliminate Donald Trump from public life. The effect achieved is exactly the opposite. This too can be seen from such disgust of a portion of such undecided centrist voters. But even there are warnings, remarks in some of the more rational circles of the Democratic Party that this is the easiest way to such a devastating victory for Trump against any candidate of the other party, because everyone is aware that such an attempt to force the judiciary, some political decisions, must simply meet with a final fiasco. Trump's comments during a rally in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, follow an announcement that he had received a letter from special counsel Jack Smith stating that he is the target of a grand jury investigation into efforts to overturn his 2020 presidential election defeat. Former United States President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that he has been characterized as a conspiracy theorist for questioning the 2020 election results.
I didn't know practically what a subpoena was and grand juries and all of this. Now I'm like becoming an expert. I have no choice because we have to. It's a disgrace. If you say something about an election, they want to put you in jail for the rest of your life. It's a disgrace. So they can cheat on an election, but if somebody wants to question the cheating, they want to call you a conspiracy theorist and all these other things. These people are sick.
During a Fox News town hall aired on Tuesday, Trump said the 2020 election probe allegedly targeting him is election interference.
It's election interference. Never been done like this in the history of our country, and it's a disgrace. What's happening to our country, whether it's the borders or the elections or kinds of things like this, where the DOJ has become a weapon for the Democrats.
Officials have testified that during his final months in office, Trump pressurized them with false claims of widespread voter fraud. His supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol on the 6th of January 2021 in a bid to stop Congress from certifying Biden's win. The letter was one of a series of developments in the various criminal investigations into efforts by Trump and his allies to overturn his election defeat. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business, and more programs. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.